Welcome to Coming In Hot. Thank you live from Airplay Beach for the intro music. We are recording live from Darling New Media Studios in Midtown Sac. Now today we are continuing our Calling All Dreamers contestants. And today we got Federico from Gusto Gaucho in the building. What up, man? How you doing, Federico?
Hello, bro. Good. How are you? How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Just out here, trying to grind just like you, trying to keep a business afloat just like you know what I mean? So, yep. Federico Garcia, Gusto Gaucho, an Argentine Bakery Cafe.
Correct. Yes.
So let's take it back from the beginning. Where are you from? How did Gusto Gaucho come about? Why Calling All Dreamers? So first, where are you from, man?
I am from Mendoza, Argentina, the land of the Malbec. Yeah, that is on the mountains next to Chile.
Okay.
High altitude, and I was born and raised there and moved here when I was 27 years old in 2014.
So what was the first 27 years of your life like down in Argentina? Were your parents bakers? Like how did we get from Argentina, growing up to now in Sac doing your thing with Calling All Dreamers? So how was it growing up there, man?
A lot of memories. It was pretty nice. I played with my neighborhood friends at the beginning. Then I went to a club near my house. I played basketball growing up. I played basketball probably for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
I am a Manu Ginobili fan for sure. And I studied after I finished high school. I studied engineering. I got my degree in industrial engineering, worked for a couple of years in a ferroalloy company. They melted rocks to make special components for iron makers or for casting metals. I met my current wife. My wife, she's from here, but I met her in Mendoza. And then she lived in Mendoza for a year plus, and then came back to finish her master, and then it was my turn to come here and live here for a time.
Okay.
I ended up staying here.
So you meet your wife, she's like, hey, I got to go back to the States for my master's degree. You have the engineering background, so were you like, cool, I could go there, get an engineering job, was that the plan? Like how did it come about where it had to be a conversation? I'm sure you're in love, your love's about to come back to the States, or you just like, I can't let you go, baby. I'm gonna roll with you.
I have always loved cooking. I always loved food. Indeed, while I was studying engineering, I was thinking of changing to the chef career. But my mom insisted that I should finish engineering first, and that is what I did.
Yes.
And I am glad because of that. And I always wanted to combine my passion for food with my engineering knowledge. So when I came here to the United States, it is the land of where the dreams come true, where you can work for your dreams. I said, after working as an engineer, I said, okay, it's probably a good time to start working on my dream.
Okay.
To create something where I can share my culture, where I can share the flavors of my country, because I couldn't find anything here and I miss them a lot.
It's hard. It's hard to find the Argentine, cuisine, especially in Sacramento. We're gonna have to get there in a little bit, but I just want to, finish, how we got here. And one thing that you said was, my mom was telling me to finish schools. something that I went through. I just wasn't book savvy. You know what I mean? And I love playing sports. I played basketball just like you. You know, I played soccer for 11 years.
Nice.
I played baseball. I wasn't as good in baseball. I was just kind of hanging out with friends, you know, but at the end of the day, it was more of, you know, I could continue, you know, struggling in school. It took me a lot to get, you know, A's, you know, a lot to get B's.
Right.
I was more of an average, you know, C plus, solid C student.
Like passing, yeah, me too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
I know.
when I found the kitchen, I was like, cool, this is kind of like being on a sports team, you know? So I kind of just fell deep into the love of the kitchen, passion for food that I already had growing up. But
the challenging of creating new dishes, of improving the dishes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Just like, you know, and I know you said you played basketball for 17 years. I'm sure that's kind of the feeling that you have is like, all right, something bad happened yesterday. You can't keep it. You know, you got to let it go. You got to find a new path. You got to make yourself better. So am I speaking the truth of how that is for you right now? Like how is it going from being a mechanical engineer? And a little side note, there's a lot of engineers that I've crossed paths with in the kitchen. You know, it kind of seems like it kind of seems like it's a seamless, I don't know what it is, but it just kind of seems like a lot of engineers land in kitchens or they graduate from their masters or something that you did, you know, and then you're like, oh, I could combine both. So how is it transitioning from being this mechanical engineer to being, you know, a chef and owning your own restaurant? And are you doing events right now, or is this just start from scratch, business plan, getting everything in line to open your first business?
Well, first, I am an industrial engineer, not mechanical.
Sorry, man.
No worries.
My stepdad's a mechanical engineer. That's why I had it in my head. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. You know, it's a methodic path that I went through. As an industrial engineer, I know a lot about processes, and I know a lot about make them more efficient. So at the beginning, I did events, I did farmers markets and events because I wanted to know if people liked the product. I started making the empanadas to share them with family, friends. They like them, but I said, okay, they are my friends and they are eating for free, so they are going to tell me that they like it.
Yep.
So I did farmers market events, and that helped me to improve the production and also change the flavors a little bit to adapt them to the Californian palate. You'll be more spicy, maybe with chimichurri. People here love salsa.
Love some chimichurri around here. Yes.
So I did farmers market and events, and that is how I found that the niche that okay, people like this product. I might be able to open a space and again combine my passion with my knowledge. So I've been working in this project since 2017. I did farmers market, I think in 2018 for a year and a half. And then I was ready to open, not ready, but I wanted to open a brick and mortar, but then COVID hit. I said, okay, it is probably not a good time to open now. So I waited, and while I was waiting, I took baking courses.
Okay.
Argentine baking courses, and that is where I learned how to make pastries, and bread, and other kind of baked goods. And I have also worked with my brother. He has 2 bakeries in Mendoza, so I have some knowledge on bakery. Well, I am finally being able to get together all the ideas. I have the products that I want to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to calling all dreamers, I've been able to make my business plan sharper, to be able to get a loan and open a space, hopefully soon.
Yeah. So when you're growing up in Argentina and you said your brother has two bakeries where you're from, like, is that something that's been in your family, this whole time where you guys are around the tables, you're making empanadas, you're making other baked goods? Is that something that you grew up with your brother and your mom? Like, was that a part of your upbringing, a part of your culture out there?
Yes, actually, my parents used to make pastries to sell them, but actually they were employee all their life. My
Mm-hmm.
mom was a teacher, and my dad worked for the health department back
Okay.
there. Yeah, we always grew up cooking. We are a big family. I am the youngest of six. So
Oh
if
wow.
you wanted something, you have to cook it for yourself.
Yeah.
They weren't going to go and cook
Yeah, last
anything
one to get a
special.
plate over there, huh?
So I think that helped me to increase my passion for cooking, for food.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my brother, he's a chef. He worked in Italy for a couple of years, and they
Mm.
came back to Mendoza. Went back to Mendoza, and then he opened the. He did catering, and in the end, he opened the bakery. The
Okay.
bakeries, one bakery, and after a couple of years, he opened the second one, Senza Bakery.
So give me a Argentina meal, like your brother, your parents, like cooked, like what is, paint me a picture of
Okay.
what that meal is, because a lot of people, like we know South America, but like
Right.
when you start getting into Argentina, Chile, things like that, there's a difference, some are
Oh yeah.
coastal, some are a little bit more inland. So paint me a picture of what a Sunday meal at Federico's house growing up in Argentina is.
So Sunday meals is always asado. Asado. We are descendant from Italy. We have immigrants. So
Mm-hmm.
also many people eat pasta, spaghetti.
Okay.
For usually the grandma makes the spaghetti and invites everybody. If
Mm-hmm.
not spaghetti, asado, when barbecue. When you walk outside, maybe to buy the bread, because we don't need tortillas there. We don't need beans. We eat bread, and we we eat salads. Our salads are pretty simple, but where you can taste the actual flavor is our tomato salad is
Mm-hmm.
tomatoes and onions
Yep.
and
Yep.
some olive and salt. And then we have the beef, chorizo,
Mm.
like Italian sausage, and with sweet bread. The sweet bread is a gland actually that
Mm-hmm.
I am glad that I found it here. um, that is probably like a Sunday meal, like a barbecue in family with the bread, the salad, and after the barbecue, you have the desserts, probably some ice cream, probably some pasta flora or ricotta tart.
Yeah, just an all day event, right?
Yes, all day eating. Then you play cards with the family. We have a national game that is called Truco.
Okay.
Uh,
What's Truco?
Truco is a strategic game that you can play in teams.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's three on three.
Mm-hmm.
You play the cards are like, I think they here are not like a Mexican card, so they are like a Spanish. We call it the Spanish card.
Okay.
So it's a different. You play until you make it to 30 points, basically, and it is
Okay.
divided. It's pretty hard to explain and to learn.
No, it kind of sound like, spades. That's what we do. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
got a team and you're trying to, build houses, what they call it, where, like that's your points. And if you get three houses, then you win. So yeah, it sounds a little similar to something that I grew up with. Um, so, we're here to talk about calling all dreamers. Um, as you might know, I won the 2019 Calling All Dreamers with
Yes.
Nash and Proper. So, I just wanted to get everybody on here that was willing to come on and kind of talk about where you are in your process, you know, like how your mentors treating you, how this whole competition pretty much takes over, you know, whatever you're doing. You might still be doing your farmers markets and stuff on the weekend, but you're constantly working on this business plan. You're constantly waiting for the score pitch followed by the final pitch to
Yes.
the Calling All Dreamers board. So, you know, like you apply, and I heard that you applied quite a few times, and this time you made it in. Is this correct?
No, actually, this is the first
No?
time that I
Okay.
applied.
Oh, it's the first time you applied.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
But I am happy that I am in.
you must have been talking to the right people because they already knew who you were. So it must
Oh,
have just
nice.
been with the farmers market. They knew you from there. But how is the process of, you know, you put your plan through, they contact you, hey, you're in the quarterfinals, we're going to be breaking it down to the semifinals, which is 10, and this year a record 7 finalists going through, so you have a little bit more competition. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. That is
Maybe you
more for
should have.
everybody.
Maybe you should have. You know, applied back in the day because you would have had so many people you up against, and they're all solid companies. So
yep.
take me to, you know, like you get in the phone call that you're in, and your process so far.
Well, I learned about the Cardinal Dreamer contest back in maybe 2018 on the Cesar Chavez Plaza, because they used to have they used to promote the events there. Mm-hmm. And there is what I found about it. And I said, okay, this is probably something that can help me open my own space. So I wanted to apply in 2018, but 2020, but they weren't taking. It didn't happen on 2020, so they moved it to 2021. And they asked for a pitch video. I think that was the hardest part for me. It is
talking about yourself.
I don't like cameras. I don't like talking about myself.
Okay.
It's something that I have to work on. So I've been working with, and they asked me for a business plan with certain points. Mm-hmm. I think that it is important to have what they ask for. Mm-hmm. It is important to be clear with the concept, with the idea. I've been focusing and trying to present always a quality business plan with what they asked. I applied. I applied back in August, and then I was told that I made it to the semifinal. So semifinals. So yes, that made me super happy because they say, okay, one step forward. And once I was on the semifinals, they ask us for a second update with more information about the business plan. They pair us with a score mentor, which it is great. I work with Giri. He has a lot of experience in coffee, and that is something that I need. So he has been helping me to define better the idea, probably to make it more consistent about what I want to offer. He brings me to the realities. He makes me think of things that will happen when I open. After that, I found out that I am one of the finalists. I am really excited with that because I think that I am more solid with my idea. I have a competitive business plan where if I don't make it because if I don't win because there are great projects there, I still will be able to probably ask for a loan to present my project to a landlord and finally open, which it is my ultimately goal if I don't win. So I think that this whole calling all dreamer process helped me to get more solid of what I want.
Yeah. And that's what I got out of it. I came into the contest, and I've mentioned it before on here, like very cocky, like we were already, on the way up. My business partner, Jake, he's the one that kind of said, hey, we should do Calling All Dreamers. And I was like, you know what? Like I think we're past that point where we gotta, pitch an idea and get a place downtown. Yeah, we already had a business and we were booming. Like we were the most popular thing in Sacramento at the time. And, we were out maybe like 6 months, but we just made a big splash, and, the right people came and ate the food. And it was just like one of those microcosms where everything just kind of happened at once. One of those things that
the way you dream of.
Yeah, it'll probably never happen again. You know what I mean? But I came in cocky, and like Tanya even tell you, like I wrote, just this little piece of paper, like, yeah, Nash and Proper, we're interested, and they picked us to, go on to the next one, because I just did it like whatever kind of thing,
Right.
And they picked us, and they're like, oh, do your business plan and this and that. And we had this deadline, and I just didn't even, I didn't do anything. I had a business plan because I've just been working on it, because I wanted to grow the business, of course. And I submitted the business plan on the very last day, just because, like, Jake, I thought he was going to forget about it. So I didn't even like say anything, because I didn't want anything to do. We were busy. I think we had our third truck being built. Like we were going to Aftershock. We were going to Bottle Rock. So we were busy.
That's
and, like he just texted me one day, and he's like, hey, did you send the rest of that stuff to Calling All Dreamers? And I was just like, and I told him, I was like, you know what, man, I don't think it's for us. Like, I think we're a little past this. Like, what are we doing here? And he's like, well, let's just try. So I pressed send, and then again, they called me back. Oh, you're a finalist. And I'm like, God damn it. So we but going through that process, and this is what I've been telling everybody that's been on here so far, Federico, when you go to the score, when you go to your score pitch, it's going to be brutal, and they're going to break you down, and they're going to, they're going to find all these holes that are in your business plan, even though, I know you're comfortable with your business plan right now, but they're going to find something.
Oh yeah.
But
there's so many details, so many things that you have to think of.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, I could have walked out that room, said, I'm done. I never want to do this again. But for some reason, it clicked that I need to take this more seriously. Like at that moment, I was like, we could win this thing. And that's what my score mentor said. He said, you could win this thing, but you got to be in it. You can't be, like, oh, I got this, I got that, I got the other.
Right.
If you want to win this thing, you have to prove through your business plan, through your numbers. You got to talk through your numbers to these guys, and that's how you're going to win. And I took it as, again, the sports.
That is what I was thinking. The sport
we're not here to lose.
Out, right?
Come
on, you have to do it, man.
Yeah, we play to win. And that just kicked in me, like, I need to play this thing to win. So I went there, I took everything that they said. I went to that final pitch in front of the Calling All Dreamers board, and, we got it, you know what I mean? And it was through that score where I was like, you know what? I need to take this thing more seriously. So my advice to you is first of all, bring whatever food you about to be selling, because I didn't bring any food.
No.
You know, like I was just
I think
like,
that your
yeah,
farmer competitors are not really probably
yeah,
really happy with that.
no. So yeah, exactly. They were like, we don't know what Nash and Proper is. Like, what do you? And I had these poster boards. I was like, look, this is what we serve. Like, we're popular. They didn't care. You know, they're like, well, you got poster boards. Yeah, we get it, but we
Right.
don't get it. So first, bring your food.
Good to
Second,
know.
know your numbers, because
Yes.
those score mentors, that's all they've been dealing with their whole life is numbers. So
Mm-hmm.
know those numbers. I don't know if you have business partners, make sure they know the numbers, you know. So that's like the main thing that you're trying to get through to these score mentors to get to that next level, you know.
Yeah.
So food is the first thing. And one thing that I don't think we really got to, what is on your menu? Because I know you mentioned empanadas, and then you went into the baking part of things. I know you bake empanadas, but is there other baked goods that you're going to be doing? Or are we talking about an empanada brick and mortar, or in Argentina with the grilled meats? Like where are we going with this concept?
Well, what I want to bring to Sacramento is variety. I
Mm-hmm.
want to bring variety. I want people to buy by the dozen, of empanadas. I have currently 4 kinds of empanadas.
Mm-hmm. Which ones are
Chicken,
those?
the chicken, the traditional beef, safija, that is made with lemon, mint, some onions and beef, the tomato, and then I have the caprese.
Oh,
I
okay.
plan of having the vegan empanada and more kind of empanadas. So
Mm-hmm.
people can go and probably have one empanada with the salad at my space, or buy 12 empanadas to share them with the family, with the coworkers.
Okay.
And then on the other hand, I will have pastries also.
Okay.
I have the pastries, and I'm trying to also bring like new flavors, of flavors that are not really common here in Sacramento, like ricotta pastry, dulce de leche, which it is really popular in Argentina,
Mm-hmm.
guava, queen's paste. So I'm trying to bring new flavors, and the size also. I want people to buy the also by the dozen with share, or if you go to my coffee, the size of my pastry are a little bit smaller than what you find here,
Mm-hmm.
because I want people to go and buy 2 pastries. I want them to try variety.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably what I want to differentiate with the different bakeries, because I want people to try 2 or 3 pastries with the coffee in the morning or in the
Mm-hmm.
afternoon. I also plan on having bread, also to make sandwiches, and probably simple salads that they can go with the sandwich or the empanada.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to bring mate. Mate is an energetic drink that we drink a lot. We have a lot in Argentina.
Okay.
People are not going to be able to see it, but I am having mate right now.
All right.
It is a tea. It is like a tea. And so yeah, I will have mate, different mate flavors, cold and hot, and also cafe. I want them, because when you buy pastries or empanadas, you wanna have a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I will have other beverages. Um, in the future, I would like to increase the beverage menu. Probably have
Mm-hmm.
some wine bar or beer, but that is going to be more in the future. So
Yeah.
because I want to make sure that I know the products that I am starting with, and I want them to be the best quality as possible.
And you're the only one doing all this.
Well, I am the only one planning it. I have my wife that she is my right hand right now. She
Okay.
she helps me a lot, especially with social media, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really good at. Um,
Yeah. Me neither, man.
and but in the future, when I open, I will have a baker with experience, and I will be doing more the management side. which it is what I like. So basically, yeah, I am also trying to find the spots that I am better at. Yeah, so I can work on it. So I will be doing more the management side, but yeah, right now is myself and with the help of my wife and of course the mentors. And I also put together, because I think it's super important, having like a working network. I've been working with NorCal, SBDC for the restaurant program. So I have some people there that they have restaurants already. I've been working also with my brother. He asked, I am able to ask him directly questions about his bakery. I also work with bakers to be able to improve my products, because even though I am not going to be making my products, I want to make sure that they are good, and I want to be able to teach or to show the baker the products that I want.
Oh yeah.
So I've been putting together support network. So because yes, I don't think you can run it by yourself, and the more people with experience you have, the better. It's probably easier maybe to shoot a call to someone and say, hey, I think I'm having problems with this or with that, and hear different voices. And in the end, you make the decision, but at least go and share it with your support network.
Okay, no, that's what you're supposed to do, and that's what these networks are out there for. And I'm always here for you too, Federico.
Thank
If you
you.
need
I
to
appreciate
navigate
it.
these downtown waters, I'm your guy. So this hit me up anytime you got a question, especially involving the contest, and I'll help you anywhere I can. One thing that I never even asked you is, what's Gusto Gaucho mean, man?
So gusto means taste in Spanish. Gaucho is the Argentinian cowboy. So what I wanted to transmit, because it starts with the empanada, is the country flavor. The gaucho is the person that works on the country, and he has to be resourceful with whatever he has in hand. He works hard. He always goes through challenges, and he has to make it through. So that is probably what I wanted to transmit, like country flavor, but also this gaucho inspiration that I have.
Isn't gaucho like it's like a cowboy, right?
Right, it is like a cowboy. It's the Argentinian cowboy. They eat a lot of barbecue for sure.
A lot of asada.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the goal with the brick and mortar, man? Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to scale this thing? Are you trying to be, national? Or are you just trying to, hey, let's do this Sacramento one. Let's, get our family involved and grow this thing, like, and just have like a little small mom and pop. Like, what's the goal with the brick and mortar? Because you're almost there.
That is a great question, and I have a lot of goals.
We all do, buddy.
But the idea is to basically bring everybody to try the pastries and the empanadas. So I want to focus in volume. I want people to buy by the dozen. I want people to share. So that is my goal. My goal is for people to go to my business, buy and take them from there. I would like in the future to go to the supermarkets, probably, or go to the wholesale area. There are a lot of coffee shops that they don't make their own products, so I think that there is a great potential there. And the idea is to bring more, to open more bakeries, at least in Sacramento, and then expand it everywhere. But little by little, I want to make sure that at least the brick and mortar that I am opening works, and then I would like to start expanding it to the wholesale. I think wholesale, frozen.
Okay. No, that's a great idea. Are you planning on baking in-house, or are you going to have a commercial kitchen outside the restaurant where you're baking all your stuff and then you're bringing it in every morning? Like, what is that looking like to you? Because I know there's a few bakeries out there on the market right now. So, what's your plan with that?
My goal is to bake in house, so
Mm-hmm.
people can taste the product fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I will be baking constantly. So that is the main idea to bake there, and I also would like to have like a frozen line so people can take them home and bake them at their own pace. Especially the empanadas, some pastries. But yeah, I wanna have like the bakery in house.
Okay, that sounds great. So you got this prize package if you win. What, we all know there's money involved, but everything isn't
Right.
money in this thing. You got attorneys, you got, marketing people, you got network people. So,
Yes.
like what are some of the things that you have planned if you win this competition?
Well, definitely want to take advantage of the marketing people. I would like to have a very friendly or user-friendly website.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to be able to to promote the image or my vision with my bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Also on the legal side, it's important to be able to make the LLC properly or body corporation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is the biggest prize of this contest is the whole team that they put together for you to be able to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And
And one thing that a lot of people don't know about the contest is the contest, win, lose, or draw, you don't lose the people involved. Like you still have your mentors, you still have everybody from Downtown Partnership, you still have, me, Aaron,
yeah,
like all
yeah,
all the people, behind the scenes that work out, on the board and things like that. So this competition is pretty unique in that way where like it's not just a competition, it's still people there wanting to help you succeed in your dream.
now
So
since you put it together that way, I think that I already won the prize because I
mhm,
am already being able to work with professionals. I have been able to define the idea, and I think I am able to move to the next step.
yeah,
But if I win the other part of the prize, that will definitely help me with the other side of the business.
yeah, it's a great contest in that way.
Yes, it is.
um okay, so we're gonna go to our top five, okay? So I got a couple top fives that I need from you, Federico. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So I need your top five Argentinian dishes. Argent is it Argentine at this point or is it Argentinian?
I think I can go both ways.
All right,
I
we'll
decided to
go.
go with
We'll go top
Argentine.
five Argentine dishes.
Asado, barbecue for sure. Barbecue is the first one, number one. You
Everybody,
have
baby.
once a week or twice with the friends.
Oh,
That is.
so good.
I know that I'm home once I get it there. Once I eat the barbecue there, I say, oh, okay, I'm home.
Yeah.
So milanesas is the number two.
Mm, all right.
Milanesa
Well,
with
what
papa.
kind of meat?
So it is breaded meat.
Yeah.
It's usually made out of lomo. I'm not sure the name in English, but
I think
it is
that's the skirt, right?
probably no, not the skirt. It
Okay.
is it is like ribeye. No, yeah, it's probably like I think it's the ribeye
Okay.
without the bone.
Oh wow, and they pound that thin and
Yes,
bread it. Oh, woo.
yes.
I might have to try that one this
with
weekend.
with fries. That is my second one.
Okay.
Then pasta with a lot of canelones.
Love
Mhm.
cannellonis.
canelones. Then lomo. We call it lomo, but it's a sandwich made with, you have the beef, then it has eggs, like a fried egg, and then cheese, ham, tomato, and lettuce. It is like a big sandwich.
So I had an empanada that way. That had the egg and the ham. It was all inside an empanada, but it was a hard-boiled egg inside. Right. Is that something that you ever heard of?
Yes, actually my traditional empanada have a hard egg inside and one olive. And then empanadas, they are of course they are everywhere. When you get together with for birthday parties or meetups or with your family, you have an appetizer that they are usually the empanadas.
All right.
So yes, I have a top 10 actually. I could continue talking about food.
Hey man, I'm getting super hungry talking to you, to tell you the truth. All right, so the second top 5, I need your top 5 bakeries in Sacramento, because I know you're doing your studying. I know you got to travel around to these different bakeries. Make sure your competition is right. So top 5 bakeries in Sacramento.
That is the funniest part of the R&D.
I ate a lot of fried chicken coming up with my recipe, buddy.
I definitely like Farias. I like the product. I think that they have a great quality. I like Majoroba. Majoroba is this Japanese bakery. I think that they probably involve more my idea. You people go there and buy the dozen or 20 pastries.
Okay.
My number 3, I like Stales.
Okay, Stales, yep.
I think that my first 2 are the ones that I prefer the most, but then I have Stales. I like Stales. Which one else? I've been going more to coffee shops than bakeries, but I like Errores also.
Okay, Errores have been around forever.
Yes. I made the honor, thankfully. I was able to.
Oh, that's cool.
Former owner, actually. And then for my number 5, let me think. I think I will leave that one open. I don't have another one coming to my mind right now.
Okay. Yeah, and like something that you said in there about what was the second one? The Japanese bakery?
Majoroba. That is on Freeport.
Yeah, study them. If that's what you want to be, study what they're doing. Like study everything. Go in there as much as you can. Like just see what they're doing, because there's nobody saying that you could take this Japanese concept and turn it into your Argentinian concept. You know what I mean? So if you like that concept, just go with it. Like, yes. And something that a lot of people, especially in our industry, we got to get out of thinking that we're the first ones to come up with this stuff. You know what I mean? Like
the wheel's already invented.
Yeah, exactly. The wheel's already invented. Like if you see a concept that's working, I'm not saying go in there and steal their recipes, but if you're like, cool, these guys are doing this, maybe I could do this. Everybody does it. So if you like that concept, go with something similar to that concept.
I agree.
That's my advice to you. All right. So at the end of the podcast, we're going to come in hot. And this is any topic that you want to talk about. It could be political. It could be about your Calling All Dreamers mentor. It could be about, Sacramento in general. Argentina's better than anything in the world. So Federico Garcia, it is time to come in hot.
Yeah. I think that something that I got very surprised when I came to Sacramento is the diversity that you find here. You find a lot of different cultures that I never heard of in Argentina, and I am not surprised and surprised and in the good way and happy how all these cultures are able to live together. And I think that Sacramentans really appreciate diversity.
Mm-hmm.
People love, you find people saying, I love Indian food, I love Thai food, and you can choose any kind of food here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that diversity and how people bring their culture here and they are proud to be of a different culture is what made me more comfortable being from outside, saying, okay, this place can be called home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that I fit here.
Yeah.
So I
No,
think
you're
that
correct.
diversity is something that I appreciate the most.
Nah, you're so correct with that. And, like growing up, like I grew up in Northgate area, North Natomas, South Natomas, like all around Natomas pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I grew up around is a lot of different races and respecting, like the Mexican race. That was something that I grew up with, like pretty much first 12 years of my life. And then going to high school and majority white, school, but, there was still a lot of, there was still a lot of people to get into their cultures and talk about them, about their cultures. But, Sacramento is a melting pot and it
Yes.
continues to grow. And, like everybody that comes through, and I'm super excited to try your food.
Thank you.
Another thing that I say is stay out there at those farmers markets, keep getting your name out there. I know you're busy right now being a solopreneur and, pretty much, with your wife's help, of course, but this is your
Mm-hmm.
dream. And, like
Yes,
you got to
indeed.
work for your dream. And it already seems like you had that conversation with your wife is like, this is what I want to do, babe. So,
Yes.
like either help me or get out the way, but we gonna be here. You know what I mean? And that's a tough conversation you got to have
It
with
is.
your wife because I had to have it. And,
Yes.
I had to say, hey, this shit might not work out, but I need to do it for us. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And it
Yeah.
seems like that's what you're doing. And I appreciate your hard work and I appreciate you coming on here. Go ahead and plug all your social, your website, how they could get a hold of those empanadas and those baked goods. Go ahead, man.
Thank you. So if you would like to order on try empanadas or pastries, you can order them through my website. I am not doing farmers markets at the moment, but if you want to try them, we can arrange a delivery or a pickup time. And also remember, please vote for Gusto Gaucho at callinodreamer.org and or Nash and Proper. You can vote in person.
You can vote in person at Nash and Proper, 1023
Yes.
K Street.
And yes, thank you very much. I'm not sure how we done.
Nah, hey Federico. Hey man, you've been a great. Thank you for coming through. For those delicious mouth-watering hot chicken sandwiches. Holla at me, www.nashandproper.com. Yeah, you can holla at us at Nash and Proper at nashandproper.eg. You can holla at me directly at Chef Cec. Don't forget to subscribe to where you listen to any of your podcasts that coming in hot with Chef Cec. I will see you next week. Love you. Peace.
Nice to meet you.